Hey there, duelists from all over the world. A warm welcome to another episode of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. Today, our studio has crossed dimensions, and we are broadcasting live from a very special place. Yes, my friends, we are at the iconic Duel Academy. And to talk about the game's most terrifying boss monsters, we've brought in none other than the prodigy from the Slifer Red dorm. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaden Yuki.
Hey everyone, it's a huge pleasure to be here on the podcast. Man, looking at the Academy through this window brings back so many memories. And to think that today we're going to talk about terrifying boss monsters, let me just say this right now. If anyone badmouths my elemental heroes, I'm demanding a tiebreaker duel right here at the table.
Easy there, Jaden. No dueling at the podcast table for now. The equipment is expensive. But the truth is, today we're going to analyze a controversial list based on the monsters, which were supposed to be the trump card to win the game, but in practice, well, sometimes they help the opponent more than us.
Worst boss monsters? Man, I saw plenty of bizarre cards back in my student days, but summoning a pard, you can send the first one on the list? I'm ready. Get your game on.
Kicking off our list at number 10, we have a classic that tugs at the heartstrings of Joey Wheeler fans and even his fellow Academy student, Atticus Rhodes, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. Jaden, it needs you to tribute a Red Eyes Black Dragon on the field to be summoned, and its attack boost is only 300 points for each dragon in your graveyard.
Man, Atticus loves that card, but thinking purely in terms of dueling, are you really spending your precious Red Eyes to bring out a monster that has absolutely no protection against effects?
A compulsory evacuation device, and there goes your boss dragon right back to your hand. Yeah. Atticus would cry if he heard that, but it makes sense.
Speaking of high investment for little return, at number 9 we have the legendary Gate Guardian. In the anime, the Paradox Brothers made it look like the most overpowered thing in the world. But in the actual game, you need to have Sangha of the Thunder, Kazajin, and Suijin all face up on the field to tribute them.
No way! 3 level 7 monsters on the field at the same time? If I can get those 3 guys out there, I've already won the duel.
Why would I want to fuse them into a monster that's basically just a 3,750 ATK wall with no effect during the opponent's turn?
It gets worse, Jaden. At number 8, we have Armed Dragon LV-10. Yes, the signature card of your great rival and friend, Chaz Princeton.
Chaz? Who? Oh no, I can't miss this. Wait, let me guess. You need to go through level 3, level 5, and level 7 and use the level up effect.
And if the opponent activates a single trap along the way, does Chaz's whole plan go down the drain?
Exactly. You need to tribute the level 7, and the level 10's effect is to discard a card to destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls.
It looks good, but the cost and time required to field it are so enormous that it's almost never worth it.
I can practically hear him screaming, quote, Chaz, I'm the greatest! What do you mean my dragon is bad? Oh, that was a good one. Chaz is going to want to ban me from the Academy if he sees this clip.
Support the channel by buying our wallpapers. Link in the pinned comment. At position 7, we have Machina Force, which can only be special summoned via Commander Coving's effect after sending face-up Machina Soldier, Machina Sniper, and Machina Defender to the graveyard. In other words, you need 4 monsters to summon it, and you have to pay 1,000 life points to attack with it. That's not very good.
Having to assemble a puzzle of 4 metal monsters on the table for a creature that, if destroyed, leaves you completely defenseless?
Pay points and life points to attack? Hard pass. That's not a boss monster, it's a test of patience.
Jaden, we are entering the most painful part of our episode. The top 6 and top 5 feature 2 cards that I know you hold very dear in your deck.
I'm talking about Elemental HERO Divine Neos and Neos Wiseman.
Wait a minute, what? Divine Neos and Neos Wiseman? You've got to be kidding me. Those are 2 of my best cards, man.
Divine Neos combines the power of my Neospatians and my elemental heroes into a single colossal form.
And Neos Wiseman is the perfect fusion of Yubel and Neos. How can they be on a list of the worst boss monsters?
I completely understand your outrage, Jaden. In the anime, they were simply divine. But when Konami brought these cards to real life, they stripped away the best parts.
Divine Neos requires 5 different monsters to be fusion summoned, including a Neos and Heroes or Neospatians.
Man, that is completely absurd. 5 monsters? I spent half my deck to summon my ultimate warrior, and he loses his powers at the end of the turn?
They destroyed my monster! And what about Neos Wiseman? It isn't even considered a fusion monster in the actual game, right?
Exactly. In the actual game, Neos Wiseman became a standard effect monster that requires you to manually send Neos and Yubel from your hand or field to the graveyard to summon it.
If the opponent banishes or returns one of the materials to your hand, you are left with a dead level 10 card stuck in your hand, unable to do anything.
Oh no, that's so sad. Yubel is going to be furious when she finds out. In the anime, that fusion was a symbol of our connection. They turned one of the strongest spiritual connections into a deck consistency nightmare.
I take back what I said earlier. This boss is truly a nightmare to play against.
Yeah, Jaden, Neos Wiseman really struggled with the transition. But take a deep breath, because our journey to the top is about to get even more unbelievable.
At position 4, we have Mechlord Astromechanical. It requires you to send 3 Mechlord monsters from your hand to the graveyard.
If your opponent doesn't play Synchros, you've discarded your entire hand for a completely useless monster.
Wait, what? Discarding 3 monsters from your hand to bring out a guy who's totally dependent on your opponent's deck? Man, that's terrible. If I'm dueling against someone who uses fusion or normal monsters, mechanical just becomes a really expensive paperweight. What kind of design is this? Yusei would laugh in my face if I tried to use this against him.
And if you thought that was bad, at position 3 we have one of the oldest and most absurd cards from the classic game, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. You need to equip a Petite Moth with a Cocoon of Evolution and wait for 6 of your opponent's turns with it intact on the field before tributing it.
6 turns? In a real duel, the game ends in 2 or 3 turns these days. The world is more likely to end than for that moth to emerge from its cocoon. How are you going to keep a defenseless caterpillar protected for so long with so many destruction effects out there? Whoever came up with that idea should be in the Slifer dorm with me, just to learn the basics of deck building.
That's right. And at position #2, we have the legendary Venomanaga, the deity of poisonous snakes. She has one of the coolest automatic win effects in the game and is immune to other card effects. But her summoning condition is a nightmare. You need your Venomenon, the king of poisonous snakes, to be destroyed by battle or by a card effect. While you have the Rise of the Snake Deity trap card active on the field. If the opponent simply banishes Venomenon or returns it to the hand, you will never summon the queen.
Oh man, that's a shame. She seems super powerful, but setting up that whole play is almost like trying to predict the future. If my opponent knows what I'm planning, they'll just ignore Venomenon, or use a removal effect that isn't destruction. That's a huge headache for a monster that's supposed to reign supreme.
And finally, we reach the top of the disaster podium, Jaden. At number 1, crowned the worst boss monster in the entire history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have the legendary Spirit of the Pharaoh. To bring it onto the field, you need to activate a continuous trap card called the First Sarcophagus, and then survive while playing Second Sarcophagus and Third Sarcophagus from your deck to the field on consecutive turns. When all 3 sarcophagi are on the table, you send them to the graveyard to summon the Spirit of the Pharaoh. And this monster's superpower is bringing up to 4 level 2 or lower normal zombie monsters from your graveyard to the field. That's it.
Without being able to defend yourself against anything, just to summon a mummy with 2500 ATK that revives level 2 ghosts. That's crazy. Your opponent should win the duel just by laughing at the effort you put in to getting 4 weak mummies onto the board. It is easily the worst boss monster I have ever seen in my life.
The Pharaoh Spirit takes the gold trophy for sheer nastiness. And with that, we wrap up our list of the game's worst boss monsters. Jaden, man, thanks a lot for dropping by the Duel Academy studio and sharing your reactions with us. It was awesome.
No, thank you, man. Next time, we'll bring a list of the best monsters so I can defend the honor of my heroes. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which duelist and theme you'd like to see in the next episode.